Hello, today I'm going to talk about Ghost. It's a blogging platform. Now it's been around for a few years now. I tried it a few years ago when it first came out. It was labeled as the sort of WordPress killer, everything that WordPress wasn't, which is still probably true. It's not that it's a WordPress killer, but it is everything that WordPress isn't. It's basically a one-page application running strictly on JavaScript. Node.js is the JavaScript that it works on. Now, it's a very simple program just strictly for blogging. WordPress over the years has grown from a blogging platform into a content management system. Now, Ghost has just sort of gotten back to the roots of what WordPress was, but made it much better and much simpler. So, basically, if you go to ghost.org, you have all the information you need to get going. If you're planning to get blogging right away with your domain name, I would suggest going straight to ghost.org and set up an account. Now, they have a free 14-day trial, but once that trial is over, it's a paid option. It's $19 a month, as you can see. You may find that expensive or not. I think it's fairly reasonable to just have a simple blog. But it's a very nice platform and it's very simple to use. So I've gone in and I've created an account already. So my account, and we can see what we have here. Ready to try a free trial? Sure, let's just test it out today. So I'm going to say, I'm going to try one. Well, I'll just do test Ghost. There's probably a number of those already. Now it's basically just setting up my Ghost platform. It has to install it on their servers and everything like that. So there we go. We're just going to do the three-step process here. So let's create an account. Now this is creating the user. So with a password. Now, this is basically for publishers, so you can add a team to this blog and you can have a number of users to work on the same blog, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to go to do this later, take me to my blog. So here we go. We have our URL is testghost4 at ghost.io. This is sort of a temporary URL that you can put your domain name on afterwards. So you'll see they first put a post in here for you to work with. And if you go down to the bottom here, we can actually look at what the blog looks like. So it's a very simple looking blog with a default theme. So we go back here, we have posts. So we can add a new post, our content, which is going to be a list of our content. We also have general settings. So that's the blog title, the blog description. We can upload a logo and a back cover image. And here's our themes, Casper. We can even upload a theme here, a new theme. Now themes can be found at a variety of different places. There's one called Ghost for Beginners, and they have a list of themes that you can download. There's many free ones available, but also paid versions, which have a bit more functionality. They can contain widgets as well and a few other features like comments. So you can go through there and look and choose ones that you like. I've been testing out one called Ghost Scroll. It's free, it's a popular one. And if you click on that, it takes you over to sort of the Ghost Scroll information. This is basically what it looks like. This tells you how to use this theme as well. And you get it from GitHub, and you can download it and then add it to your themes here. So basically that is all we need to do. We can add your Twitter and your Facebook here. Let's just create a post. So let's do a test post. And if we start typing, you'll see that this is what it's going to look like on your website. This is taking the styles from the theme and creating them here. Now to add things like an image, it's basically a little bit of code you have to type. You just let it know, hey, I want to put an image in. So you put an exclamation mark in 2 square brackets, and you get a little box over here to upload an image to. So you can just grab an image from somewhere if you have one available. So there we go. So there's an image. You can also just paste in a URL if you want. And that will create a link automatically. But if you wanted to create just a link, for example, with some text, you could do the same thing with the square brackets. You can put the google.com, that's where it's going to go to, HTTP. And just put the word Google in here. Oh, sorry, with the brackets. There we go. So that just creates a link to Google with a name for that link. Ghost has a number of things like that. You can take a look at their guide. Basically, any HTML can go in there as well. So if you're used to using HTML, you can just paste it in there and it will do it. But here's some sort of quick things like a headings, or just with a number sign there, or a hashtag, and some styling. And you can see bold is with the stars. There's what I explained with the images. And the rest is sort of basically just that you can use HTML in there. So if we wanted to do a heading, this is a H1. You can see that it's quite large there. Then you can start typing your post. And save the draft. And if you want to go look, you can go preview it. Now WordPress, there's sort of website to view the websites at the top, but here it's at the bottom. So that gives us that. And there's the sharing the post at the bottom. So that is about it working with the Ghost platform. The next thing you would want to do is to add your domain. So here you go. You can just add your domain here. You create a scene name record over at your host, and then it would point to this, and then they would link together. Okay, so that's Ghost. Now, there's alternatives available. For example, you can find DigitalOcean is a hosting platform, a cloud hosting platform, and they actually have a one-click install for Ghost as well. So you could sign up for this and log into your account. Now, I've already created a droplet, they call it. That's the Ghost. I created it yesterday. Now, and I've also added the domain name to it. So this is basically the Ghost platform I created yesterday. I haven't really done much with it besides just set it up with a domain name, custom domain name on DigitalOcean. I'll go through the steps here as well. So the first step you want to do is to create a droplet. Now droplets come in different prices. The smallest price that you can pay for one-click apps is the one we want, is $10. So we'll find it on here. You can even install WordPress on here and a number of things. So we're looking for Ghost and choose a size. It won't fit on a $5 plan, but it will fit on a $10 plan. And New York's fine. You're going to want to make sure that you have an SSH key set up. Now, I can't really go through that with this, but it's a fairly simple process to make a key and attach it into DigitalOcean. Okay, so I'm just going to do create. And it's going to go through and it's going to start setting up our Ghost platform. Okay, so we're good to go here. So this is the IP address I'm going to want it to work with. So I can copy that. And here we have what's called more. So there's where you can add a domain. The other things are enable backups. You have to pay for that, or you can just sort of get rid of that droplet. So we're not going to go to add a domain or anything like that, but we're going to go take a look at the IP address. And you can see that it says log into your droplet via SSH to configure your Ghost installation. So that's what we're going to do. They even have information on how to do it, but we'll just finish off this setup here. So to do that, we're going to go over to our terminal here. And we just sort of do SSH root and then that IP address. Since we've already set up our SSH, it's just going to ask us to add it. Yes, we want to add it. Okay, so that now we're connected to the server here. It's going to tell us what we need to do. So there we go. It just restarted the server, and it lets us know that Ghost is all ready to go. We are advised to finish your setup. And with this URL here, which we're going to grab, and we're going to finish our setup. So DigitalOcean is a bit cheaper. It's like about half the price than having the blog hosted on Ghost. So you'll see this looks familiar, the 1, 2, 3 setup that we did over at ghost.org. Same thing. Oops, my email address. And a password. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to destroy this afterwards. And I've already pointed a domain name at DigitalOcean. So we're going to go through that and grab that as well. So we're not going to add the users because we don't need that, but I'll add that. So right now our domain name is a IP addressed. So let's go through to general here. And I'm going to add a theme. So we're going to just download this one. Where are we here? No, we're not there. Oh, here we are. Go scroll. I'm just going to activate it. Okay. And we're going to put a blog cover image. Well, here, I'm going to cancel this. We'll go take a look at what it looks like so far. View our blog. There we go. So it's called Despot Robot. There's our first post. So let's upload a back cover image. Okay, just save that. See, there's an upgrade available. So basically, that's all I'm going to show you there. This is sort of setting up your blog, and then you can start posting posts the same way we showed you before. What I'm going to show you a little bit differently here. So if we go view our blog. This one's kind of cool because the menu kind of shows up here. Each theme's different, just like in WordPress. This is a very nice theme. But what I'm going to show you here, we're going to go back to our droplet here and add a domain. Okay, so that one is available. Here we are. Okay, so that should be fine. Let's see if we get... We'll probably have to restart the server. No, there we go. So Despot Robot's working. That's our domain name. Now there's one last thing to do because it actually is still pointing to our IP address. So even if we use our IP address, it will work, of course. That's normal. But you'll find that as we click on things, it redirects to this IP address. So the last thing to do is make sure in Ghost that this is the domain name and not the IP address. So we're going to have to go back to the server here. And you'll see that we're logged into the account. So we're going to have to go in and find the configure file, which is called configure.js. So if we just change our directory, cd, it's in under var www ghost. We're in there. So if we just do ls to list what's in there, you can see that our configure.js is in there. So what we need to do, we can just do a sudo nano, which opens up that file of the configure.js, and you'll see this is basically like a text editor. We're just going to go in and change it. You can see that the URL here is still pointing to the IP address. So I just tab down with my little left and right keys, and I go over to the left to the very end and sort of delete that and type in despotrobot.com. So basically, make sure it's spelled okay. So that's fine. So that's all we need to do. Now, to save this, you can just do Control X, and that will do a save and exit. A write out is just save it. So is Control O, but we're going to save and exit. So Control X, and yes, we want to save it, so Y. File name to overwrite, yes, you can just do return there. So we're brought back to here, and that's been overwritten. That file's been copied to the website. So if we come back in here, you can see that this is still the domain name because we haven't refreshed anything. Actually, we should restart the server, or restart our ghost, sorry. So it's just sudo service ghost restart, and that's going to restart ghost for us. And GH, and if you go /ghost, that brings us to the admin panel. And we're going to have to sign in again because the IP address has changed. Okay, so we'll sign in with the new domain name, and there we go. We're back to where we started. So that is all we need to know with setting up on DigitalOcean. So you can choose between the two. Those are the only two real choices there are is ghost.org or DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean is a bit cheaper, but there is a bit more work to do to set it up. Ghost is basically an all-in-one solution where you don't need to have a lot of technical know-how. And you don't need a whole lot to do technical know-how with DigitalOcean as well. You can also set this up on your local host. Like I have here, it sort of does the same thing. It creates Ghost on your local host using node.js, and it's located here. After it's set up, it tells you where to go, which on my local host is here. So basically, this is a local version that you can practice with, and there's a number of ways of setting that up, and Ghost tells you how to do that on your local host. But you have to set up node.js and a couple other things. If you set it up on your local host, you're going to learn the most. I've been playing around with it for a couple of days, and my next step would probably be develop a theme to learn a bit more. But other than that, good luck and happy blogging.